Here we go again, in the corridors of power at Manchester United and on the training turf at Carrington. The focus is shifting, the blistering summer attack overhaul has been checked, the glaring defensive gaps are being stitched. But now, as the calendar moves closer to the January 2026 transfer window, one area dominates the agenda: midfield reinforcement. Because while the Red Devils have added pace, flair and firepower, the engine room still demands evolution, and manager Rúben Amorim isn't hiding from the task. What follows is a deep dive into the club's current midfield blueprint. The 6 names at the top of United's priority list, their strengths, fits in the challenges ahead, and what this all means for the 2025-26 season and beyond. Why United need midfield reinforcements. Amorim's style demands a certain kind of midfield: athletic, intelligent, quick in transition, relentless in pressing, but also capable of subtle build-up. United's recent recruitment has leaned heavily toward attack and goalkeeping. The arrivals of Cunha, Sesko, Lamine speak clearly. But one truth remains: without dominance in midfield, the system lacks balance. Sources reveal that United's recruitment team, backed by the Ineos Group, have quietly earmarked 2 new midfielders for the January window or the summer that follows. The message from Carrington: the names must deliver more than energy, they must understand what we do. The short list has been drawn. And at the top of the early winter whispers stands Conor Gallagher, the relentless Englishman now turning heads at Atletico Madrid. Gallagher embodies everything Amorim demands from a midfielder: energy, mentality, and courage. He presses like a machine, drives the ball with conviction, and brings a leadership edge that commands respect. Amorim sees in Gallagher a heartbeat that could transform United's pressing structure overnight. But Atletico are no pushovers. They know what they've got, and prying Gallagher away mid-season won't be easy. Still, United's interest is real, and the chase is quietly alive behind the scenes. From Spain to London, the eyes then turn toward Andrey Santos, the young Brazilian gem at Chelsea. Bright, composed, and blessed with incredible technical awareness, Santos is viewed by United's scouting department as one for the future rather than the now. Amorim likes what he sees: raw talent wrapped in maturity. He's not a headline name yet, but under the right guidance, Santos could become the kind of midfielder who controls tempo, dictates rhythm, and defines eras. United are watching closely, not to rush, but to prepare for what could be a masterstroke down the line. Then comes a name that feels deeply personal to Amorim: Angelo Stiller of Stuttgart. This isn't just scouting, this is trust. Amorim knows Stiller, understands his discipline, his calm under pressure, and his ability to interpret tactical instructions almost telepathically. The two have crossed paths before, and that familiarity makes this move more realistic than most. Stiller might not carry the global hype, but inside Amorim's 4-3-3 system, he could be the silent perfection, the midfielder who keeps everything flowing without needing the spotlight. If United are to move for anyone this January, insiders believe Stiller's name could be the one that finally lands on the table. But not all targets are about control and structure. Some are about creativity and spark. That's where Elliot Anderson steps in. The Nottingham Forest midfielder has drawn admiration for his flair, quick feet, and fearless inventiveness. Amorim's United have the power, the intensity, and the press, but Anderson brings the art. He's seen as the kind of player who can unlock tight defenses, turn games with one unexpected move, and bring a new rhythm to United's attacking flow. Forest, though, won't easily part ways. The club value him highly, and it may take real persuasion to make it happen mid-season. But Amorim's admiration remains quiet, consistent, and growing. Next in the scouting chain is Wharton of Crystal Palace. Young, disciplined, and fearless in the tackle, Wharton has quickly become one of the most talked about English prospects in the Premier League. What makes him stand out is not flair but intelligence, his ability to read danger, position himself perfectly, and maintain composure in the toughest moment. United scouts see him as a long-term project, someone who could grow under Amorim's structure and become a central piece of United's midfield for years to come. A January deal might be ambitious, but summer 2026 looks like the ideal window for this move. And then the big one. The name that keeps returning to the table: Carlos Baleba. The Brighton and Hove Albion midfielder has become one of the Premier League's most coveted young stars. The Cameroonian brings everything Amorim dreams of in a pivot: strength, speed, stamina, and that fearless drive that defines a champion's mentality. United have chased him before, and they're still chasing. But Brighton's valuation, between £100 to £115 million, makes this pursuit a heavyweight affair. It may not happen in January, but United aren't walking away. Baleba, more than anyone else, feels like the final piece, the midfielder who could define Amorim's Manchester United era. Across all these names, one theme ties everything together: Amorim isn't chasing fame. He's building function. Gallagher brings leadership, Santos brings promise, Stiller brings precision, Anderson brings creativity, Wharton brings control, and Baleba brings power. 6 different players, 6 different paths, but one shared destination: the evolution of Manchester United's midfield. Why midfield matters more than ever. If United's attacking reinforcements provide the fireworks, Bumo, Cunha, Sesko, and Lamens secures the goal, then the midfield is the gearbox. Without the right midfield gear, the engine loses power. What Amorim wants is a midfield unit that wins second balls, dictates tempo, and links all phases. A successful January window here could define United's title arc. We are entering a phase where details will matter: pressing triggers, transitional speed, physical duels, recovery runs. The right midfield signing doesn't just enhance the team, it transforms it. Imagine Old Trafford again. The roar after a big win, the floodlights silhouette, the first pass starting a counter, the engine room humming like a well-oiled machine. With 1, maybe 2 midfielders arriving in January 2026, Manchester United want to build more than a team, they're laying the groundwork for a dynasty. In a season where millions of pounds are spent, what will matter most is choosing players who understand, adapt and deliver. From Baleba's raw power to Stiller's system sense, from Gallagher's Premier League hunger to Wharton's youth and Anderson's creativity, this isn't just shopping, it's meaning. Because at Old Trafford, they don't just sign players, they build identities. In the midfield, that's the heart of it. And also because under Rúben Amorim, every signing has a purpose, and this next one could define the future of Manchester United.